Hello everyone, today I am going to talk about the steps of normalization and how to create and populate the tables with PostgreSQL in pgadmin. So this is our unnormalized table, and let's get started with the first normal form. As we know, the first normal form requires that each column must contain unique variable. So as you can see in here, enrolled students and grades columns contain multiple values. That's why for the first normal form, we will start to separate them. So first normal form. Okay. Let's create a table. And it's address. Here we can select them here. Here. Course ID, course name, of students, grades, and professor. Yes. So first of all, let's put the values according to enrolled students and grades because they are multiple, and we will then add the values in other columns according to this column. Yes. First of all, Nigar Kazımova and Nigar Hasanov. So here, as we can see, their grades A and B. Yes, our professor name is Farid Kazanov. For which student? Yes, their course ID is C001 and C001. Yes, and here the course name is biology. Yes, again biology. Yes, so let's begin with the second course. Yes, Yusuf Hasanov, Leyla Guliyeva, Nigar Hüseyinova, yes. Okay. Yes, their grades are A, E, and A. So their professor name is Zahra Kazimova. All of them same. Again, their course name is also same, computer science. Say CS. And their course ID is C002, C002. Yes, for third course is their students Farid Kazimov and Rashad Mamadov. So Nigar Rahimova. Yes, this third three person, their grade C, A, A. Is their professor name is Elvin Mamad. Okay, their course name is physics. And course ID 003, C003, yes. And we will so for first fourth normal form from Kazimov, Farid Ibrahimov, and so Yes. Okay, Farid Ibrahimov. Mm, Ibrahim. Nigar Yusufova. And their grade is D, B, C. Yes. Mm, I think I confused. Yes. Here, Nigar Rahimova. For physics course, it should be Nigar Rahimova. And for this three person, their instructors is Eylül Mammadov. And their course is psychology. Yes. And so for season 5, we have three persons, and course name is economics. Wait. Yes. Their student's name Samir Yusufova and Farid Ibrahimova, Mina Ibrahimova. Yes. Their grade is BDD. Yes, their instructor name is Elvin Ibrahimov. Yes. So for 6 course, Farid Yusufova, Elvin Rahimov, Elvin Aliyev, Behra Guriyeva. Yes, their grade is according to A, C, and B. Their instructor name is Anna Ibrahimova, Anna Ibrahimova, Anna Ibrahimova. And their course name is chemistry. Yes. Course ID is 006. Okay, so I think all of us understood that logic, and it will continue the table like this. See also um, which are which course ID are C007, 8, 9, and 10. So let's get started with the second normal form. Okay. Uh, yes. Okay. Yes, as we know, the second normal form means that each non-primary key column depends on the only on candidate key. So in our table, the candidate key is course ID. As we can see, course name and professor depends on course ID and also each other. So also grades and enrolled students also depends on course ID and each depends on itself. So that's why for the second normal form, we will create two tables, which are courses table and enrollment tables. Enrollment table. Yes. Enrollment table. So for courses table, we will add column, three column, which are course ID, because it's our primary key, course ID, course name, and professor. Yes. So let's write the course IDs. Yes. Yes, and C008 C009, C010, and yes. So let's write our course names. First one is biology, and computer science, physics, psychology, English, history, physics, mathematics, and the last one again, psychology. Yes. So let's put the professor name also. First one is Farid Kazımov. Second one, Zehra Kazımova. Third one, Nigar Rahimova. Elvin Mamadov. Elvin Ibrahimov. Amina Rahimova. Amina Guliyeva. Amina Guliyeva. Yusuf Hüseyinova. And Yusuf Hasan. Yes, we did our courses table, so let's get to the enrollment table. Here again, we will have okay, number of columns again 3, number of rows we will sort. Yes, again enrollment table, we have course ID column, enrolled students column and their grades. Yes. So first of all, our for the first course we have 2 students. Yes, they are Nigar Kazımova and Nigar Hasanov. So yes, their course ID is C001, C001, and their professor name is Farid Kazimov. Again, Farid Kazimov. Yes. For the second course, we have Yusuf Hasanov and Leyla Guliyeva, Nigar Hüseyinova, and Leyla Guliyeva. Yes, that's all. We have 3 students in our second course. And I wrote wrongly. I need to write here their grades. I wrote professor name. Sorry. Yes, grades are E, B, and others is A, E, A. Oh, yeah. A, E, A. Yes, for the third course, our students are Farid Kazımov, Reşat Mehmetov, Nigar Rahimova. Yes. Their grades are C, A, and A again. Their course ID is C003, C003. And let's write one more course. And Farid Ibrahimova, Anjali Yusupova, and that's all. For the no, we have again one more student for the okay. I forgot to write Amina Kazımov. And their grades are BBC. BBC. Their course ID is C004, C004, and C004. Yes. For the other course students, the same thing will go, and I think no need to write all of the data. So let's get started with the third normal form. And third normal form. Yes, for the third normal form, as we know, the rule is that each non-primary key column doesn't depend on non-primary key column. So in other words, no transitive dependence. While the second normal form requires that not partial dependency, and also third normal form, as we know, built on second normal form. So that's why let's look at the second normal form. Here we need four table for the third normal form because for in the course table the professor is directly, how can I say, put it in that table. However, if with the same name professor teaches multiple courses, it will lead to redundancy, and that's why we need to add one more unique ID for the professor, and it will be in another professor table. Also, if, for example, with the same course and the same name of different students, also can lead to redundancy. That's why we need to create another students table with unique student IDs. So let's get started with the course table again. Yes, here, let's take this table. And here, instead of professor, we will write professor ID, and let's put it like that. Since we don't have this professor with the same name, that's why we will write professor ID by order. Don't change in number. And yes, 007, 008, 009, and 010. Yes, this is our course table. So let's wait, professor table. Professor's table. In professor's table, we will have two columns, and number of rows is 10. Yes. 11. So, professor ID and professor name. So yes, here professor ID again, P001, P002, P003, P004, P5, P006, P008, and 7, P008, P009, and P0. Yes, let's put the professor names. Click this column. Paste here. Yes. Not waste time. Okay. Here our professor table is created, and so let's create students table. If you can look at carefully with the student's name, we have several same name. That's why when we create student name, we will consider these cases and we will take these names as one unique person. And that's why here we have 30 people names. However, we will have, if I'm not mistaken, 26 rows we will have. In other words, with distinct student names. Yes, let's take again here students table is also we will have two columns, student ID and students, enrolled students, enrolled students. Yes. Here, let's take the enrolled students here. What we will write? Yes. Okay. So here, for example, we have Farid Ibrahimova, Farid Ibrahimova. So let's get started then. Let's put numbers 004, 005, 006. And yes, H08. So let's put all of the names here, and so we will can see easily. Okay, let's put their name here. Okay. Zahra Guliyeva, Leyla Zafarova, Zahra Hasanova, Zahra Zafarova, Amina Zafarova, Amina Yusufova, Leyla Aliyeva, yes, there we have two Leyla Aliyeva, and we will solve it in a words. Leyla Aliyeva, Amina Ibrahimova, yes, Amina Aliyeva again. Oy. Garcinova, and the last one, Zahra Rahimova, Leyla Yusufova. So let's continue with this about this. Is is 0 and 6 is 0 times 3. Second is 0 times 8 is 0 times 9 and is 0 30. Okay, as we can see here, we have Farid Ibrahimova and again here Farid Ibrahimova. That's why we will take it. We'll take his student item as S0010. That's why we will delete S0013. That's why we will change. We should change the other course student IDs according to this, and also let's determine another same names. For example, here also Leila and Eva is the same name, and we have some more person with two names and their name here. One more. One name. Another one is Nigar Shainova. It has she's here also here is 005. That's why let's put the numbers accordingly. Again, I think they will come because it should be 26. Anyway, I will try to find this issue. Okay. It's another the same name is Amna Abdrahimova. She's here also C00 certain. So we will delete it and again correct the corresponding course IDs. Yes, it's our student table, and let's create our enrollment table. So before we created our enrollment table like this, and however here we will take instead of student enrolled students, we will take students ID. Student ID. Yes. Again, here is student ID for the first. Here no, there are no the same. That's why we can write as we wish. We can afford as single zero. For example, is zero. So we will continue the enrollment tables also like this, and let's I show you my report about this normalization steps which are completed, and you can see also easily our data which are in first, second, and third normal form. And here is our the table which is in the first normal form, and the second normal form requires that since they cannot constant dependency, that's why we will partial dependency for the second normal form. Yes, that's why we again create two tables, courses and in normal table. So when we come to the third normal form, it requires second normal form and several hits. Yes. So here also no, let's show you my tables in the second normal form. This is my courses table, and this is my enrollment table. Yes, for the third normal form, as we know, it cannot be transitive dependency. That's why we have created four tables, which are courses table, Yes, and professor's table, drop down, no, students table, and enrollment table. Yes. For now, that's all, and we will again meet with the code part. Yes, so let's start with the code part, and we first create our the table which is in the first normal form. Yes, to create table we should write create table, which will call it course students and course students, and yes, it has file column name, and we will write it in course ID varchar. Let's take 5 elements, and course name varchar 50. Okay, so another one enrolled students. Let's take 20, and another one grades varchar 1, and at the end professor. So varchar 20. Yes, so let's refresh, and yes, our course students table is created, and let's upload our data, which is in CSV file, to our these tables. Okay, our CSV file here, open, and we should take semicolon option because we have this delimiter in the CSV file. Yes, create. Okay, so our table is created, and our how can I say, data is uploaded to this table. Let's check it. Select all from course students, and yes, so as you can see here, all of the data is, I'm sorry, is uploaded here. So let's create our tables, which is in the second normal form. First of all, let's begin with the courses table. Again, we will write create table courses, and it has three column name, which is course ID, varchar, and 5. Okay, so course name varchar 50, and professor 20. And as we know, the course ID is the primary key of this table. That's why we should define it as well. For this, we will write primary key course ID. Okay, so let's, yes, here course table is also created, and let's create again enrollment table. Okay, so create table enrollments, and it has also 3 column names: course ID varchar 5. Yes, enrolled students, 20, and their grades varchar. Oh, I've got to write varchar 1. Yes, again. Enrolled students varchar. I think again it will give error anyway. So yes, here enrollment in enrollment table, our course ID, however, is a foreign key, and that's why we should define foreign key course ID and references courses and courses table and from course ID column. Yes. As I said, it gave error. Let's take it again. Enrollment students course ID. For the third normal form, I want to actually used Cura tool because, as you know, there we can quickly edit and set the code. Here it's hard and take waste of time. And yes, our how can I say enrollment table is also created. So now we will get our data from course students table to add courses and enrollments tables. How we did it? So yes, let's write insert into courses. First of all, courses. And which columns we have here? Course ID, course name, and professor. And yes, select. So distinct course ID because course ID is our primary key. Distinct course ID and course name, professor, where from course students. Yes, our table how can I say now contain our data. Let's check it. Select all from courses. Yes, the data is uploaded. Let's now upload the data into enrollments table. Insert into again enrollments. So which column we have? Course ID, enrolled students, and grades. Yes. So we are here. We will select course ID, enrolled students, and grades from course students again. Yes, our table is also uploaded now contain our data. Okay, let's check it. Select all from enrollments. Okay, so yes, our data is also uploaded to this enrollment table. So now let's continue with the third normal form. As we know, the third normal form, we have four table. And first of all, we will begin with the professor table. Now let's create it. I will write create table, professors. Yes. In the professor table, as we can see, we have two columns, professor ID and professor. So now let's write professor ID, varchar 5. And yes, the second one is professor Professor bar chart. Let's take 20. And as we know, here professor ID is the primary key of this table. That's why let's define it also. Primary key professor ID. Yes. Okay. Now let's refresh. So here, our professor's table is created. Now let's insert the data in this table. How did we do? So let's write insert into professors and professor ID professor. Yes. Now it will select. So I want to create professor ID like this, similar to the course ID. That's why I searched the Google and found out how can I write the number orders like that, and also add letter before the numbers. So the first of all, we will write P and concatenate them with LPAD function. It means that we have like 3 digits, and if we have 1, then we will have 2 more space, and it will how can I say full is with zeros. It's now LPAD. So again, row number is also means the sequential integer, and yes, row number over and text and 3 and 0, and now professor, where we will select from, okay, we will select professor from courses and as subquery. Yes. Okay, so let's check the avatar table. Select all from professors. Yes, now we have 10 professors and their ID. So now let's create our courses table. As we know, the courses table is already created, and however, it is in the second normal form. Now we should change it to third normal form, and here it is third column professor in the second normal form, and now we will change it professor ID, and we will create connection between professors table and course table. So for this we need to update courses table, update courses. Yes, now set professor. We will set professors from professor table, and professor ID. This professor ID. Yes, from professors table. Okay, where courses where courses in the courses table professor column equals to professors table professor column. Yes, now let's check our table again. Select all from courses. So as you can see, it doesn't change professor to professor ID. That's why we should alter our table. Alter table courses. Now rename column professor ID. So I think it yes. Yes, the professor column is also changed to Professor Ida. So now let's create our students table. So in the students table, now let's look at enrollments table. Here we have sort no no 30 rows, and we have double names. And when we create a students table, we will since create one student ID for one student, that's why we will eliminate the names which are the same, and that's why we will have 26, 24 rows in the students table. So let's create our students table. Create students. Create table. Sorry, students. And here we have for two column, and again student ID. Student ID varchar 5, and enrolled students varchar 20. Yes. Now also we should define student ID as a primary key here. Primary key student ID. Yes, now our table is created. Let's refresh it. Yes. And again now mm, insert the data to students table. Again, insert into students. Yes, student ID and enrolled students. Yes. Now we will did we do as the same as we did from their professor. Here, let's copy paste and change and select P to S, because student will use S selector. And now we sorry. Yes. And we will change professor to enrolled students. Enrolled students. Yes. Now we will yes, again we will select, let's write it by myself, and yes, select no, we will should first of all from select, and now we will select distinct student names. That's why we will use distinct, and select distinct enrolled students from enrollments, and as subcategory. Yes. Okay. Now our table is created and with the data. Select all from students. Yes, we have 26 students, which are the different names. Yeah, so the last one is the enrollment table. Here also we will change this enrollment table, because we have also we have already enrollment table. However, it has columns course ID enrolled students. Now we will change enrolled students to the student ID. For this, let's write alter table enrollments. And yes, now here we will first of all rename column, rename column, um, rename column. Yes, enrolled students. Students. choose student ID, and yes, I think our table changed. Yes, it's changed student ID. Now let's create update our table with the student IDs. For this, okay, yes, we will write update enrollments enrollments as E. Let's define it as E, and set student ID equals to where is S. It means that from students table, and yes, now let's write S dot student ID, and from select course ID students and student ID. It means we will write, okay, we will select course ID from students table and student ID as student ID, and also we will select grades. Yes, again from enrollments as, let's define now as E1, and we will use in this case join operation, and let's create join students on students table dot enrolled students so equals to E1 student ID. Yes. So as now let's close the bracket and as S. Yes, now we will write where course ID which is from E tables course ID, yes, equals to S dot course ID, and E dot grades equals to S dot grades. Yes. Okay, our table is updated. So let's refresh and select all from enrollments to see our updates. Enrollment. Yes, as you can see here, it changed student's name, student ID. However, we can define, let's use the order, select all from enrollments, order by course ID. Yes, it defines with the order course ID and the student's name accordingly with the student name table. That's all. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you for listening.